And on that same subject here, Marty, I do want to show you this billboard that just went up in Israel today. You can see it down in the left-hand corner of your screen right there. It's rather small where that's being shown there, but it says the Abraham Alliance, and it has the faces of all of the different leaders that are here in the region here. This is the big focus that is happening on the ground in the Middle East right now. Normalization. That is what the Israelis are looking for, and you see all the leaders around the region there. Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria. That's the dream that people have here. That's the vision that the president has talked about, and you can see very clearly certain groups here on the ground in Israel hoping that the president will make this a priority in the Middle East.
The very historic Abraham Accords, which is one of the most important agreements. Now, we had 4 countries, and we had them lined up to sign. If that election were legitimate, we were in there, we would have had virtually every country in the Middle East. You would have had peace in the Middle East. They have signed exactly no people, no countries, and everybody wanted to sign. They don't care. It's like they don't care. This administration, they don't care. But we would have had them all signed up. I think every single country would have been signed up. Peace in the Middle East. Instead, we have a bunch of people that are so sad. And they actually would have liked to have terminated it, and they tried, and the uproar was incredible. So it means you can do that. But the Abraham Accords was absolutely incredible and incredible for the Middle East.
In Trump's acceptance speech when he received the Israel crown jewel 7 months ago, he said he was planning to add all Middle Eastern countries to the Abraham Accord and bring peace to that region if it was not for the election, which was stolen from him. This is suggestive that when he returns in office in 2025, he will add many Middle Eastern countries to it to resolve the escalating conflict happening between Israel and surrounding nations. Following this speech, Trump escalated his claims that only him can bring peace to that region and the world, considering that it was him who signed the original peace deal, the Abraham Accord. He calls the deal of the century. It is very concerning for the same man to be the one to confirm it or strengthen it by adding more countries to it. After having fulfilled a lot of AntiChrist prophecies already, him confirming the Abraham Accord will seal him officially as the AntiChrist. Most people from different faiths are angry at how President Biden handled the conflict and are longing for the conflict to end and now hoping Trump returns. This conflict will be the one that will see Trump being seen as the hero by many faiths, as a result being loved by people from many religions. Prophecy in the book of Daniel, chapter 9 verse 27 states, "Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, but in the middle of the week, he shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering, and on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation, which is determined, is poured out on the desolate." Trump, adding more countries to the Abraham Accord, will have fulfilled this prophecy and seal his identity. Daniel 11 from verse 19 talks about a king who acts according to his own will, who will destroy Israel. It states that he shall stumble and not be found and is replaced by a king who tries to impose taxes on the rich. But within a few years, he will return to defeat the imposer of taxes on the rich, not in anger or battle, meaning political. After he is back, it shows he will return in the name of peace and even deceive the Prince of Israel into a false peace treaty, which he will later revoke after the temple is built. Daniel 11 from verse 19 states, "Then he shall turn his face toward the fortress of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall, and not be found. There shall rise in his place one who imposes taxes on the glorious kingdom, but within a few days he shall be destroyed, but not in anger or in battle. And in his place shall arise a vile person, to whom they will not give the honor of royalty, but he shall come in peaceably, and seize the kingdom by intrigue. With the force of a flood, they shall be swept away from before him and be broken, and also the prince of the covenant. And after the league is made with him, he shall act deceitfully, for he shall come up and become strong with a small number of people." Please share, like and subscribe for more opening gospel.
I am the chosen one.
And on June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, "I need a caretaker." So God gave us Trump.
Is there a Messiah
In Judaism,
in Judaism?
Jews invented the Messiah. But
it's not the same Messiah that most people think about.
Okay.
Because when Christians think of the Messiah, they think of someone who's divine.
Yeah.
They think of, the end of days. What we have for the Messiah is a man, a king of this earth, who's going to bring peace among the nations in this world.
And he will not be divine.
He will not be divine.
As president, I was proud to be the best friend, they say the best president that Israel's ever had, actually. And it's a very interesting phenomenon because in Israel, I could be elected prime minister today. If I ever decided to give this up and go over to Israel, I would be elected very quickly. They have polls at 99%.
The Abraham Accords heralded the dawn of a new age of peace. But I believe that we are at the cusp of an even more dramatic breakthrough, an historic peace between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Such a peace will go a long way to ending the Arab-Israeli conflict. Now look at what happens when we make peace between Saudi Arabia and Israel. The whole Middle East changes. We tear down the walls of enmity. We bring the possibility of prosperity and peace to this entire region.
Be the first step to the temple. So we have the priest, we have the red heifer, we have the land, and we have everything ready. We just need to wait another 1.5 years.
Happy to announce that the Mikdash Educational Center just produced a new Cyrus Trump temple coin. This special coin was produced and minted for the 70 years of the independence of the State of Israel and to honor and praise President Donald Trump, who promised, but not only promised, also fulfilled this promise, and next week will move the American embassy to Jerusalem. President Trump is starting a prophetic process by moving the American embassy to Jerusalem. Just like King Cyrus 2,500 years ago said, he charged me to build a house in Jerusalem. Here again, President Trump is building a house in Jerusalem.